Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Inkblot Meet and Greet. You know these guys, and you know me, your special girl Zulu. And
wow,
guys,
we don't get names.
Are you the only special one?
Yes, I am.
Wow, not even name.
Let me just
Not even say those guys, Naz and Damola. Just
No, please stop putting your name in here. We'll cut that out. And guys, I'm so excited because I think starting in this industry, she is one of the few casts that started with us in our very first day.
Yes, so I remember.
They're beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, you know her from the spot. We should probably have told her to actually introduce it because I'm doing a bad job. Maybe you sign us out.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, you know her
Let a
from
professional do it.
so many films. This is Zainab Balogun, guys.
You know, it took you guys a long time to come on the show.
Oh wow.
wow.
After our relationship.
I don't understand.
Like 5
Yeah,
years.
you didn't start.
Ah,
it's
no.
not started last year now.
You have
last year.
20 episodes before me.
Yeah.
No, but
Like 30 sha, but
Say sorry.
why would we say sorry?
it's blast.
Must you be first every time? I don't understand. So let other people be first too now. What is it?
But now this is like 30 something.
Maybe 30.
Well, sorry.
We have to be
Okay.
worthy of her.
Me, I will say
You know-
sorry.
Alright.
I have humility in me. These ones have pride.
No, but you
I
know,
can
like
see.
we are walking up to bring Zainab Balogun. You know, we have to walk out, get all the
Right.
things out.
Right.
You know, so now when she
Right.
walks in, she'll be like, "Hey, you people have done well."
Yeah, we tried. There's an audience.
So we'll give you what's that thing? Feedback form, so you can say that I had a good experience.
All right. So, Zainab, we love origin stories. Just, tell us how this all came about. This whole being in front of the camera in the first place. Like, where did it start from? Were you always an actress, or did you want to do something else and then you stumbled upon acting? What?
Right. I think stumble is a good word for
okay.
it. I went to school with the plan of becoming a lawyer.
Right, all of us.
I remember when...
There are so many lawyers.
One.
Yes.
So when I was younger, there's this memory that I have of my mom where she was asking me what did I want to be. And I remember seeing like those tall buildings in like the city of London. And I was like, oh yeah, I want to work in one of those buildings. In my mind, it was lawyers that worked in those buildings. So I said, oh yeah, let's start the journey. So went to school to study law. And then I was scouted at 16 by a modeling agency. And that's when the whole modeling thing kind of started. So at some point in your modeling career, you start going off for commercials, for ads and stuff. So, you get the Waka Pass opportunity, or you might get a one line. So eventually, I started reading for roles that had maybe a few more lines. They were featured roles. And to my surprise, these people did not know that I was scamming them. They did not know that I didn't know what I was doing. So I just felt like, okay, well, if they keep giving me work, then I'm going to continue. And I just continued. So that is the greatest scam of my life.
Oh, I love it.
And that's how I sort of fell into acting, and I loved it. Like, I remember I would take my textbooks when I was on set, and people would complain about how long you have to sit around and wait, and I just loved being able to take something from paper to a completely different medium, and just watching how all of that comes together. And I say now, till this day, if I could act for the rest of my life, I would. Like,
nice.
that's my joy.
So I feel like we're also on this scam journey. You
were
were our
scammed.
first,
Yes.
but were we your first?
You weren't my first. You were probably my first web series.
Okay,
Yes.
so we're first something.
Yes.
She's a scam though, because she came as a professional actor.
I
told us,
at that time,
I was in a Batman movie, right? I was,
Oh, yes, I remember that.
So I also
was.
remember when I met with her and her management at the time, because I remember, like, 'cause when we first started, auditions were in a person's house.
In a person's house.
So we literally had the imprimatur of regular scammy producer. So I was like, oh, we went to meet you. I was like, yeah, I think we met at. It was called Dr. Roberts then, even though I think it's now Brown. So the name has changed.
Roberts
many times.
Cafe,
Roberts
yeah.
Cafe.
Cafe. Oh my God.
Yes, and then they were talking about, this is a young lady. And then Damola then went to go and shoot, and the women should now stay in. I mean, you people clearly were very unprofessional. Like,
No, but we treated her
But you know
right.
what? The one thing I would say about working with you guys on that project was one of the most I had a great experience, and I had a great experience from the point of outside of the creative side, and the script being great, and working with OC and Ebony and Barry and everyone at that time, but the welfare aspect. I remember.
The food.
Oh God,
food was good.
Yes, it was Zulu's momo.
Yeah.
Oh man,
We have never been able to afford such catering things.
I had a
Because
great
Zulu-
time.
Yes.
And
You say people were sleeping.
it was
That
hard
they-
to top.
Yes.
Because
be
we that kind of
honest
thing
with
where we'll take a break in the afternoon. Because we used to take it was weird, right? We didn't do like the usual Nollywood thing. We'll take like a break, like about 1 or 2, then we'll now eat. Then next thing you know, do we need to start shooting? Maybe like 4,
And food that's put you into.
Will that be like we're arranging lights, but people are just dozing?
I spent my birthday on set. I remember. I still
Yes.
have that
Oh
picture.
yes,
My
you
birthday on
did.
set.
You did.
I think that was like a second to the last day on set.
Yeah.
Second to last day or our last day on set was actually your birthday. That's my last time producing.
So let me ask you a question. Do you actually like Knock Knock?
I do. I actually had a few friends who were watching it from London. It was the first of its kind.
And the last.
And the last, unfortunately, because now.
Unfortunately.
Because I think maybe for you because you're on the back end, so it was fortunate. But when I think about how just content and Nollywood has moved since then, the number of web series, the number of people just creating things off the cuff, it just reminded me of a good moment and a good time. I think maybe we might have been too far ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
But I loved it nonetheless.
I totally agree with that. I think if we do Knock Knock now,
Yes.
they're much bigger hits. People will be able to relate to it.
And that's because we'll do it much bigger.
And
It wouldn't be.
why did you think it was?
Well, definitely because I'm on the back end and seeing how we got Bella Nigeria comments.
They
My
had to
God,
stop.
They
had to
finished
stop.
us.
So Bella agreed to air all the episodes, but the backlash was so much, they stopped after episode 4.
Really?
Yes.
They dragged us.
Was that your first on-screen kiss at the end of that Knock Knock?
Wow. Okay, so yes, there's an on-screen case. So we just need to look at
You're
it.
not trying to get people to watch it.
Yes.
I think it might have been. I think it might have been.
Inkblot doing another first. Hey!
It might have been, yeah.
Just jumping.
No, but seriously.
Because I remember when we got
We
the...
talked about it, right?
No,
Didn't
no,
we?
no, we didn't.
Okay,
Because I remember when we got the first cut of the show, we had to warn the editor. Uncle, there are 4 people in this show.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the Zainab show. Literally, any chance he got, reaction shot.
Literally.
Literally, we're like, Uncle, she don't know you exist. What is this
Literally,
nonsense?
every 30 seconds. And I'm going to call his name.
No,
I was just about to say who was the editor.
we'll tell you.
No,
off
we're just
camera.
like every 30
What
seconds.
is it? The thing was 5 minutes, more than 30 seconds.
Literally,
Every
any small thing,
reaction.
somebody says this, reaction to Zainab. Reaction to
Like,
Zainab.
Uncle, I mean, we
Reaction
want to
to
see
Zainab.
OC, we want to see Bere. What is this?
I don't care who says anything. Reaction to Zainab. And then Zainab says something, then the guy will now linger on Zainab. No reaction shots. No reaction shots. You can literally say something, like drop it like a full line. You hear somebody respond to you off camera.
I
It's
didn't
still
know
on you.
They're like,
hilarious.
Uncle, don't be doing that. But then, so that's how we like to pride ourselves that we understand casting, right? So, and people react to people. So after you did Knock Knock, what was your journey like? When the thing came out, you started doing roles, what was your expectation for
I don't
your
think anybody
career?
ever referred to Knock Knock whenever they were casting.
Knock Knock was what, 2013?
We
It came
shot
out
it in 13, it came out in
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
We shot it in 12.
So at that time,
No, it came
Shot
out
it in 12. We can Google it. How much?
we shot it in 12?
We shot it in 12.
I think
It
so
came
that
out
was
in
literally
13.
the
It didn't
year
come out
that I
in
came
13.
back.
Yes,
It
yes,
came
we
out
just did.
when we were shooting the department. That's how I know.
No. We've had this conversation. Guys, sorry. But
Somebody Google it.
No, it
I
came out.
think-
Yes, now
we shot it 2012.
No, what I'm saying is that
We shot 2012.
we shot the department January 14. I'm saying that it came out when we were shooting the department. Maybe December.
That's not what you were saying. The argument we're having is that
leave
it
me
came
alone,
out.
bro. I've moved on. I've moved on. I don't understand.
It came out in 13.
Anybody
Let's
care
move
about
on.
facts? It's about feelings, people. Feelings. And I feel it came out.
That's my line.
So
That is my line.
2013.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I was still fresh in the market at that point.
Yes.
And I didn't have a lot of film opportunities. I mean, I moved back because of another series
Oh, wow.
that didn't quite work out. I mean, it was ahead of its time.
Okay.
And
Do you want to tell us?
I
Was
don't
it
know
ever
if you guys
released?
The Island, yeah.
It was the island.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, it ended up being on
DSTV
on
in the end.
DSTV because
Yes.
we shot like literally like let's say every year.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Tola talk. No, we had Tola. Okay, like I just almost want. I was gonna say that. Yeah, we had. I was like, don't worry, Sha. We know before you knock
about
about
it. Carry on.
So because nobody cared about my work from say the UK or whatever, I needed to get my foot in the door and prove myself. So that's why I went on TV. So that's why I started producing and presenting on the spot and e-news to just build a face and a brand that people could connect with when I came knocking on their door to, audition. I think after that, I started doing a few more like short films, and I'm trying to remember, wow, it's been 10 years.
It has.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I'm trying to literally just remember what the trajectory was like. I know that there was a big part of my life where I was doing TV, and because I was doing TV in Calabar, I wasn't in Lagos where everything was happening, so I didn't get a chance to...
What was that like, flying back and forth?
Well, I didn't fly back and forth to begin with. I lived there.
Oh, you lived there fully?
Fully.
But Ebuka was...
Ebuka was flying back and forth
forth.
because he had rubbing mines and a few other things. So myself and Lamide, we were like full-time staff. So we lived out there. I mean, Calabar is beautiful, but it is extremely slow.
Yes.
And the food is amazing.
Yes.
But now when you're trying to shoot, say, an entertainment news or magazine show, you now have to bring an entertainment into Calabar.
Yes.
Where there's like one flight a day.
Yes.
So it was tough. I did it for like 4 years. It meant that I couldn't really, I didn't really have a life. And I kind of like just zeroed in. And at that point, I'd never done like TV producing. I'd done like minor presenting on YouTube, but nothing at that scale. So I learned so much. Yeah, doing that.
And then that's why Mo loves you, because when we were auditioning for Wedding Party in 2016, and we were stuck on the character of Wonu,
Right.
we saw, I think, maybe that was the role we auditioned the most.
Yes,
actually.
a lot of people.
Yes,
saw
we
a lot of people.
auditioned like because the character was written older.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we could not find, and then Mo was like, Naz, Zulu. Jenna should audition. We're like, yeah, but the characters, I don't know. But her point was, we haven't found anybody.
So we let's take a chance.
Might as well.
Yes.
I remember that day. Oh my
Yes.
God. Like, Wonu is still one of my
Yeah.
favorite characters.
Because you came in to read for something.
I came in to read for Duni.
Yeah, she was
And
supposed
then
to be,
after, that's when they were like, read for.
because it was even the callback, because you did the
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
after the callback.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, yes, and then Wonu. Yeah, Wonu
You
was
Wonu
fun.
did.
She was very
Emma
fun.
Shanu me.
I had so much
Because
fun
of you, I know
playing
what that
her.
means.
Eshanu me.
Eshanu me, yes.
Oh yeah.
What you said the other time was that, please
So,
don't
it's,
be
so,
silly.
so one of the
Alright.
funniest things about is that, like, you know how there are very few scenes that stay from the first draft of a script till
Okay.
the last draft. That scene with Ian Michael, that scene was in
Was
the first.
consistent.
Yes, it was in the first draft of the script.
You killed it.
Interesting.
Killed.
Yes, it was. yes.
I loved her. I think Wonu, for me, she really kind of like opened the doors or opened my interest to, say, doing more comedic roles,
Yes.
Okay.
which I haven't really done.
Yes.
Funny enough.
And people were like, oh my God, Zainab is funny.
I am funny. That's the thing. I'm actually funny.
We know, don't
When
worry.
we say it like that, we don't say it like that, people don't
But
believe you.
from her social media.
But when you say that,
When you say it like that, people don't believe you.
Okay.
Like, I'm funny,
Right.
no one believes you.
But even after Royal Hibiscus Hotel, I don't think I had. I still think people struggle to put me in that romance box.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't actually do a lot of romantic or like
Is that how people
nothing.
struggled or you didn't pick those roles?
There's no way they were not offering. Because even us, I remember we had the conversation.
Maybe I didn't select them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because for me, like choosing projects, I always want to be able to stretch myself because I feel like there's just no point in if I can't exercise, these muscles that I have. So I try to pick characters that are consistently different at all times, unless you have to pay bills. Because again,
There's no
I
crime
need
in it.
the
There's always a
audience
decider.
to understand that there are times when we make creative choices, there are times when we make commercial choices because this is going to be great for me marketing wise, and then there are times when we make choices to pay bills. Sometimes,
Life.
guys, just
Life
accept it
choices.
and watch our films as you see it,
Yes.
please.
Yes, I mean, what person said that?
No, but
Creative
I-
choices,
but I'm trying
commercial
to think of
choices,
all
and
the
economic
films you-
choices.
And economic choices, yeah.
Like, because maybe it's other things you do, because your next film after Royal Hibiscus was Sylvia, right? No, it was God Calling.
No,
But, yes,
no, Sylvia came first.
No, God Calling came before Sylvia.
No.
Yes.
Wow. No.
Sylvia was
came
before.
first.
Sylvia came first.
Yeah,
Yes,
Sylvia
I
came
remember.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did Walking with Shadows. I think Walking with Shadows was after.
That's the
That's the one that was
gay
based on the book.
advocacy one,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, I haven't
They
seen
did,
that
they
one.
did it. It's on, I think it's
You
on
can't.
YouTube.
No, I don't think it wasn't.
We
Amazon.
did the festival. We did Afro.
Yes.
And then we did the
Because
BFI.
they didn't allow that. Yeah, it was
Yeah, they won't allow.
Well,
of
surprisingly, we actually did really well at Africa. We were full.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
No, I'm just worrying about the censorship
Censorship, yeah.
board. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had a small role in Ojukokoro as well, which I really loved. Loved working with Derry as well. So for me, it's literally about looking at my portfolio and saying, wow, these are such different characters, different people.
Yeah, but don't you worry that some? Okay, so I mean, we're talking to Kate like a while back, Kate Henshaw, and then she was like, with all the movies she did, basically she was typecasted as the one that would just cry and just be in the dramatic roles and all of that. And then she built that for a number of years. Of course, after a while, you then reinvent yourself. But sometimes when a character when you are too varied, doesn't that create a situation where it makes it difficult for people to make decisions about you?
Does it?
Yeah. The question is.
Oh, right. Sorry.
No, because it's a career now.
Because look here, I am answering the question.
I appreciate the because I think at some point people used to think it was bad to be typecasted, right? But I can appreciate that aspect of honing your skills in this particular genre. And then moving on to something else. But the issue, or that I'm going to interpret in my mind with that is, you spend so much time being like this. You haven't had an opportunity to try something else. So when you do try something else, sometimes you do confuse the audience, and the audience may not be comfortable with you trying something else.
True.
Right? And we've seen that happen with
Adam
a number
Sandler.
of people. So when I watch Gabrielle Union, I remember her as the bitchy, pretty girl.
Bring it on.
From
Bring it on.
Bring
if
it
it's
on.
not Bring It On, then it's Deliver Us from Eva and whatnot. Then I'm now watching her as, say, Mary Jane, or there's another series that she has with what's her name?
Okay.
Not Jessica.
Yeah, LA's finest.
LA's finest.
Oh yeah, Jessica
Surprised her.
Alba. Jessica Alba.
Yeah, Jessica Alba.
From Bad Boys. The
From
Bad Boys spin-off.
right? And I look at her in that, and I'm like, I don't really know this person, but okay, I can appreciate it and enjoy it. So for me, I think because I've always I've tried to play the long game of my career. I could have been the pretty girl at all times, or the romance girl, but I just wanted people to be able to see that I do have this depth, so that in case they call me in Hollywood that they need me tomorrow, they know that
So you just leave us
There's
behind
range.
like that.
there's
If
range.
they call you, will you stay back?
I love my country. I love the land of people. Everything the day
For Nigeria, make we
join
try,
hands to
make Nigeria better.
And we shall be cutting that brief interlude out from this podcast.
I like
No, but I think the question I would ask then is, do you actually have a preferred role that you would love to see? Like, you can do it in your sleep, you would love to do it forever, that type thing.
I would like to do a bit more like comedy. I would definitely love to do action, something a bit more physically tasking. I think what I can do, in my sleep is the girl next door.
the rich girl next door.
The rich girl.
No, don't believe me coming from AJ City, man. Like,
I wouldn't mind trying that too. But horror is quite comfortable for me. Like the whole psychological.
It's comfortable,
Remember
Zainab.
Sylvia now?
No, I say it's comfortable.
And then there
When she painted face with
No, but the fact that I said it's comfortable, I'm like, what do you do in your spare time?
because that I think because Sylvia was the first time I felt like doing that was like night and day
For
me.
you, yes.
Like so far.
But it was beautiful.
So, when you said the action bits, one of the biggest challenges that I've always had, so the industry as a whole.
Is this a profit advertisement?
No, wait. Now, I'm not going to say that if you want to do like the action bits,
It is.
I mean, it requires people to get into shape.
Yes.
So I would like to know what's your fitness routine.
It's a CrossFit
Well,
advert.
I know.
This guy.
Well,
I mean,
thank you for asking. I mean, I'm in the gym Monday to Friday.
Yes, I noticed. You have traps.
There's a
Guns.
bit of
Let's
action
see,
here
yes.
and there. It's become a lifestyle,
Damola, you're badly
Which
behaved.
Amen.
which makes it easier when they come and they say they need me to jump over the building.
Thank you.
But
Oh, into Third Mainland Bridge.
in the Third Mainland Bridge. But, you know, I sort of wonder, I know there are people trying it. I wonder how well our environment is ready for that. Because
For
again,
action
For
films.
action films. Because when we talk about the risk factor, insurance, and then, you know, taking the time, it's not the kind of thing that you can say, we're shooting next month, or let's just sharp.
No,
You know how you people behave.
Excuse me, we are with us, so- no, excuse me.
No, but she said next
know
month.
how
She didn't say
you-
tomorrow. Next month.
Next month is enough time now. What do you mean?
No.
Next month for a whole 4 weeks, Zainab.
So I have a question to ask. What next?
What's next?
Are you making Instagram skits?
No, I mean, I'm really loving, outside of the creative side, there's the business side, which takes a whole lot of time.
We didn't talk about that. We're such a bad
Wash
introvert.
and go,
Yes.
the hair.
We didn't talk about the travel. Wow.
The travel thing.
Content stuff.
Oh, the
really
salad,
loving travel and
That's kind of
lifestyle
influencer I
content.
want to be.
And then I was running away from this, but I will be producing something.
Oh,
Hey.
I'm now like at that point where I'm
Are
like,
you Reese Witherspoon in it, or are you producing for third parties?
it's gonna be for me.
So
Be for
Reese
me,
Witherspoon
yeah.
straight.
And I've also directed
Festival
my
film.
first little short.
direct.
Where can we watch it? Where can we
You
find
can't watch
this?
it. Thank God
Why?
it was for a corporate brand.
You can't send us the link. I don't
Yes.
know.
Can't
us
send
link,
you, but
video
it
link.
was amazing. It was such a
No,
fun
we don't believe
experience.
you.
Send us the link.
We don't believe you.
Also,
Wait,
I
wait.
mean,
What do we-
hats-
is it
hats
commercial?
off to directors. You people try. You people try.
I'm waiting for you to
How long
produce
is
and
how
then
long is
do
this?
the
How
hats
long
off
how
thing.
long is this bit of content that we're meant
like
to watch?
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Send us the link now.
Send us the link now.
Is it, why are you wicked?
She was terrible at it. That's why she was want to send it to
Yes,
us.
I know now.
Yeah, she was terrible. Himu,
Yes.
But more.
you have our email address.
I have your
You
email
can
address.
prove it.
I'll send you something. More movies, more international Pan-African projects.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And Zainab as a villain.
I don't mind.
Why am I saying the same thing?
You know?
In a
Zainab as
comedic
a
role.
In
Yes, a
comedic role.
comic villain.
Love it. We're thinking.
Like
The wheels are turning.
Yes, like Rocky and Bullwinkle, Robert De Niro. People,
You know that thing, that reference you made there, I got it, but I have a feeling that it just dropped.
Even Zulu
flew over.
did
No,
not-
Zulu, it always rolls flies over your head. Right.
Zainab, flew over your head, Abi.
It did.
Thank you very much. All right, and on that note, thank
The
you.
elder
guys.
millennials are signing off.
Geriatric millennials.
I love it.
All right, Zainab, please sign us out. You know,
Please,
we're
as
telling-
someone that has experience doing this kind of thing, please help us close.
We forgot half our interview points. Like half. A full half. There were 4. We talked about 2.
True. As in, we didn't talk
But the
about
gist
travel.
was sweet. The
We didn't
gist
talk
It was
about
very
travel.
sweet. If we had time, we would just extend. But,
Yeah.
you know, on this note, you guys will be inviting me back.
Yes, please.
With food and, you know,
some wine,
delicacies,
some
sushi, some
champagne.
We did sponsor.
Please,
Sponsor, this sponsor
sponsors,
space.
This is the time. Thank you all so much for joining us. It's been an amazing show. I am Zainab Balogun, joined by the
Joined by-
geriatric millennials,
These
as they
two.
call themselves. We see you guys another time.
I'm still Gen Z,
Bye.
guys.